guys, welcome back to another stream here on the channel. Today I'm going to be re-streaming the Infinite Warfare stream for you guys, talking about it a little bit at the end, so keep the questions coming in throughout the chat. Something I'd like to just let you guys know is about turning notifications on. There's going to be an image on screen which will show you exactly how to do that. You don't even have to leave this page to do it. Just click the little settings cog down below the actual video itself, next to my name where it says subscribe or subscribed, and turn notifications on. There's an image on screen how to do it. But what we are going to do right now is we are going to jump into it. I'm going to be quiet and let you guys just enjoy it, but keep your questions coming in and we'll talk about it at the end. Let's do this.
Insurgent militarized group called the Settlement Defense Front that rises to attempt to take control of all of these resources. The Settlement Defense Front is this brutal fascist group that wants to completely control all of the outposts throughout the solar system and to essentially hold the countries of Earth in a stranglehold by virtue of having a complete control and embargo on all of the resources that the people of Earth need to survive.
So in terms of like envisioning that universe and kind of building it from the ground up in that way, but maintaining that feel, alongside of that, what has the new setting from a creative standpoint in terms of gameplay kind of afforded you that another setting probably wouldn't have had?
Well, I mean, of course, new environments, right? Space allows us to take the player to places that they've never been in Call of Duty before. So, you know, we have dogfighting in space, in a convertible space fighter that switches between zero-G and atmospheric combat. And of course we have all of the boots-on-ground combat that you're used to on Earth, but then we also have the experience of fighting in zero-G, you know, grappling around the outside of a ship that you're trying to board. And we have, you know, for instance, a mission where you are on the surface of an asteroid spinning out of control close to the sun, where it's 2,000 degrees in the sunlight and negative 200 degrees in the shade. And you have to be focused not only on the guys in front of you and creating cover there, but also you need cover against the sun so you don't get fried by it. So it creates these new gameplay challenges and these new pressures on the characters that are totally unique to Infinite Warfare.
So, you know, character development seems to be a big part of this. I mean, whether it's, you know, on the settlement defense front side and like kind of making them a believable enemy, as well as, you know, the relationships you as a captain have with your crew. You know, how are you guys bringing these characters to life? I mean, we're here on this performance capture stage. It's not just a pretty set. Like it's something you guys are actively using, right?
No, we've been shooting for a little over a year now. We don't just kind of get everyone together and shoot over a few days. We like to look at our production more like shooting on a episodic TV series. We have actors that are committed to working on this project with us from beginning to end. And as we get to know the characters better, as we get to know the actors better, we can tailor those performances and those roles to what's really true about the character for them. And so we've got a shoot here tomorrow, actually. One of our last shoots in the game, but it's been incredible to have this facility because what it allows us to do is as you can hear, it's incredibly quiet here. It's a acoustically perfect space, and so we can capture each actor's movements, their voices, their facial expressions, all at one go, and it allows these characters to really be in these scenes and acting and listening and responding to each other in a very natural, believable way. Also, we think that our voiceovers in this game are going to be much more realistic because we don't do any voiceovers in a recording booth where an actor is sort of forced to sit on a stool in front of a giant microphone and they can't move too much because it changes the acoustic properties of their voice too much. Instead, we have wireless microphones and again, these helmet-mounted cameras capturing their expressions, and they're able to run around the space. They're able to throw themselves into cover. They're able to grab a gun and shout that, you know, a grenade is coming, or crawl up next to each other and whisper because we're doing a stealthy infill. And again, I think that's really going to transport the player into this universe really effectively.
Like the believability of this whole world is paramount to us, right? Everything is about buying into it, thinking like, oh yeah, oh that could happen, that is real, and these characters do act that way, and I do buy into their performances, and you know, I mean, that's one of the reasons why. So like in this story, you only are fighting within the solar system the whole time, and there are no aliens. You're fighting other humans, right? This is, again, like, we're looking for the most grounded, believable conflict you could possibly have in space, and that goes from the character performances and motivations all the way through the environments and the plot.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to walk me through it. I really appreciate it. I understand you guys actually have a clip to kind of highlight some of the performance capture process with an introduction from Captain Reyes himself, so that's pretty awesome. So we'll check that out, and then after that, we're going to come back and talk about multiplayer, co-op, and of course, Modern Warfare Remastered. So roll the clip.
Hey guys, I'm Brian Bloom. I play Captain Nick Reyes, your player character. And today we're going to get a sneak peek behind the scenes at some performance capture footage from the all-new, upcoming Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. This is a scene I wrote with Jake and Taylor where Captain Reyes and Staff Sergeant Omar are planning a mission to go behind enemy lines and scout an LZ for reinforcements. Here at the Infinity Ward motion capture stages, we created some incredible, amazing characters that should be memorable and add to your gameplay experience. So without further ado, let's take a look at some raw performance capture video from Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
You been down to Titan?
I have.
Ops?
No. Pops. Dad was a tank farmer. Worked the pipelines for about 30 years. Retired just before the SDF took it over.
Let's go give him hell.
Bet your ass. This has been a long time coming.
How are we executing?
Joint operation. You and me. Our copy.
Affirmative. Armed recon? Small team. We're invading a denied area.
Yeah, silver lining around that reticle is SetDef didn't ask permission then, and we're not asking permission now.
My jacks are already standing by.
You just do what you did at the gateway. We'll zip this place right up.
Proud to be of service, Sergeant.
Pride is 100% bona fide bullshit, Raze. You just make sure the mission comes first.
Copy that. Sure, the Sergeant is well aware that the word proud is right in the Navy creed.
I knew there was something I didn't like about you sons of bitches. That explains the white uniform and the submarines.
Submarines?
Yeah. Only the Navy could build a ship designed to sink.
Let's gear up and get evil.
Sure thing.
All right, well, we're back, and of course, it wouldn't be Call of Duty if we didn't talk at least a little bit about multiplayer and cooperative, and of course, the little teaser there at the end, Modern Warfare Remastered. And so to give us all of the intel, I'm joined by Joe Seacott, lead designer on the multiplayer team, Brian Bright, project director on the cooperative mode, and Eric Monticelli, director of studio communications. Welcome, guys.
Hi.
Joe, since you're closest to me, let's start with multiplayer. How has this new setting kind of influenced from a design perspective and opened up new doors for you?
I mean, as a designer, that's really opened the floodgates for us. Like, we're not kind of chained to modern. We can kind of make new toys, create new mechanics, and we can take players to places they've never been before. You know, we have some really good multiplayer maps that take place on Earth, but we also have a multiplayer map up in a space station. We have multiplayer maps on other planets within our solar system. So just being able to kind of bring players, or have the opportunity to bring players there is just really exciting for us. We also have kind of new mechanics, new mechanics I can't talk about right now, but we have kind of a whole new stable of lethals and tacticals for the player to kind of engage with and to try, and you're going to see some of that in our upcoming trailers, and it's pretty spectacular.
Well, speaking of the trailers, we saw a little bit, on the campaign side, these, zero-G dogfights and these ship-based battles. Is that coming into multiplayer at all, or is it mainly still on that kind of person-to-person combat?
We always share, we work closely with the campaign team and they work closely with us. So a lot of tech went into the Jackal and the flying, and we have that tech in MP, but we're very, very careful to preserve the core of what makes Call of Duty just the best shooter out there. Our team plays a ton of Black Ops 3. We watch it on the CWL, and we've gotten to build off of kind of their map design and what they learned. So it's really, I think, hitting the mark, and it is future, but it's still the Call of Duty that you love.
Awesome. Well, I know it's very early days, and I'm sure there's a lot more you want to tell us, but thank you for telling us what you could, at least.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, you're up next. Let's talk about cooperative. What's going on in Infinite Warfare?
Well, I'm pleased to announce that for the first time ever, Infinity Ward is doing zombies. So I've got a really experienced team, awesome team working on this. We've done Chaos Mode as a team for Modern Warfare 3 with Joe's help, and then we did all the whole Extinction series from Ghosts. And now we're all super big fans of zombies and all the things that both Sledge and Treyarch have done with zombies and Raven in the past. And so we're taking that, and we're excited that we're able to kind of finally do our own take on zombies. And it's its own completely different universe. It's a separate universe from what Treyarch's doing. It's a separate universe from Infinite Warfare. We have something like truly unique and different, and people haven't seen before. And I think, I'm sure that the fans are going to love it.
Well, speaking of the fans, if there's one thing I know about Zombies fans, they are ravenous, and they go crazy for Easter eggs. I know it's a big priority for Extinction and some of your other work, but is that something you're embracing as well for Zombies?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we just scratched the surface on Extinction, but in Zombies, I mean, we love the Easter eggs. We love, it's what gives the game life on YouTube, And what's step 21 of getting this particular weapon quest? People love that stuff. It really drives like replayability as well, and so. Being such a big fan of the work that the other studios have done with Easter eggs, we're taking it even one step further, and can't be more excited. And it'll be interesting to see how many of the Easter eggs fans, actually find, and how long it takes them to find these things.
Awesome. Well, I understand you actually have a little something you could show today.
I do. Yeah, I have an image we're going to show now.
All right, well, I'm sure the community is going to spend countless hours kind of pining over that, gleaning whatever detail they can. All right, Brian, thanks so much. I'm excited to see what you guys do with zombies.
Hold that up in their black light. See some Easter eggs.
Make sure you post it online.
Yeah.
So thanks again, Brian. Eric, let's move on to you. Let's talk about something very near and dear to my heart, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. What can you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, we were really inspired by the community. There's been a voracious outpouring for Remastered ever since, the new console generation came along, and this year we're able to do it. We're working very closely with Raven. We're executive producing and overseeing the game. Personally for me, just being a fan of the franchise, I'm thinking back, Taylor had mentioned that Crew Expendable was one of his favorite levels. I love that opening too, but my personal favorite was All Gillied Up. I think
Mine as well, yeah.
Yeah, that was Joe's personal favorite. We were talking.
I like one shot, one kill.
Yeah, one shot, one kill, which I love too, because that was, you started in All Gillied Up, you're in this stealth mode, you're sort of creeping through the weeds, and then you get to the end of that level, and then all of a sudden you're in one shot, one kill with this like brutal firefight near a Ferris wheel, and I remember just like throwing my controller in frustration, and I'm looking forward to that experience again because it was really rewarding when I got through it, and it's going to be awesome to play again.
Well, I got to tell you, looking at the footage, just what little bit there was there at the end of the trailer, it looked incredible. What is some of the work that's going on behind the scenes to kind of bring it into this new console generation?
Yeah, Raven's really amping up everything. They went back and, we're sticking true to the core original vision of the game, but they're looking back at the textures and reworking those completely from the ground up to make them have that fidelity that you expect from current console generations. It's going to look vibrant, it's going to look brilliant, it's going to look like something amazing when you play this game. Also, the sounds are being reworked. There's audio rework being done, revamping all that. There's new Foley that was recorded, different things like that, especially new techniques too. Since 2007, the game came out, which is 10,
It's hard to believe it's been that long. Yeah.
9 or 10 years, which is crazy to think about. And there's a ton of techniques. So like dynamic lighting's been worked in, new visual effects, just a lot of processing and a lot of new tech that's been pushed on there.
Yeah, well, we've talked a lot about the campaign, and we all have our kind of marquee moments. But of course, multiplayer was a huge component. How does that factor into Remastered?
Yeah, multiplayer was one of my favorite things to do too. It sort of revolutionized multiplayer for the games industry at large. It was this new experience that was remarkable. And what you're going to get with Modern Warfare Remastered is you're going to have 10 multiplayer maps, some of fan favorites. You know, Crash was one of my personal favorites.
Backlot, yeah.
Yeah, Backlot. So you'll have, you know, some really awesome maps to play on. And then you're going to have your prestige, your kill streaks, all the progression stuff you remember too, and familiar modes and things like that. So you're going to have a good multiplayer experience. It's going to be really killer to get into.
Yeah, I'm super excited. And if you missed the news at the end of the trailer there, it's being bundled with Infinite Warfare as part of the Legacy Editions as well as the Digital Deluxe. So yeah, it's going to be awesome to dive into both games. Taking a step back, you know, kind of reflecting on all we've talked about on the stream, it's been quite a bit. So when can fans kind of look forward to the next big announcement or news about Infinite Warfare?
You know, E3 is right around the corner. It's coming in June, and we're going to have a lot of surprises up our sleeve, looking to show fans some really unique stuff then. So make sure you mark that on your calendars because it's going to be awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to be here and you know, kind of unravel a little bit what little you could this early on. So yeah, thank you so much. So remember, this is just day one. There is so much to talk about over the months to come, and you'll be able to follow along on all of Call of Duty's channels as well as Infinity Ward's channels as well. So on behalf of everyone at Activision and Infinity Ward, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Unknown. Unidentified settlement ships. You are moving and you are restricted.
They just opened fire. We're f***ing fire. Data guns are attacking our airship.
This is a full-blown...
Oh my god.
We are getting breaking news out of Switzerland.
Geneva has suffered a massive...
Death count continues to rise, and there's no end in sight.
This is Top Cat Sovereign. Divert and deploy all available assets immediately.
Holy shit.
Let's get to the tower! Go! Fix the house!
Biggest surprise attack in the history of the world. How could they not have seen this? It's one of our own.
We have no precedent for this. We have no playbook for this. And apparently, we have little time.
Let me make our situation absolutely clear. We are now at war with the Settlement Defense Front. Godspeed, Captains.
You got eyes on this, Reyes?
Affirmative.
Let's get in there!
Pre-order the Legacy Edition to get Modern Warfare Remastered.
Oh my god, guys, we have got confirmed information from Infinity Ward themselves. I've been keeping an eye on the chat the whole way through that stream, and you guys were pouring out the comments. And what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to put on screen the actual comments section, so you guys can have your names on screen here in just a second. But guys, what is your overall thoughts on that? I'm like absolutely buzzing for it. Now that we have confirmed information or intel from Infinity Ward and Activision themselves, that is just crazy. Zombies is coming to Infinite Warfare. They even said that it's going to be in its own unique universe, which is something that's never been said before. So I wonder how exactly that they are going to do that. They said that the COD 4 remake is going to have 10 multiplayer maps, its own prestige system. Like, oh, man, like, what do you guys think, man? I'm going to keep an eye on the comments here in just a second. You guys are just literally spamming. Yay, it's crap. It's crazy. Hi, YouTube. Wizzite, notice me, senpai. Dio Brando. God Tim says it was all right. Tim, what didn't you like about it, bro? Let me know what you didn't like about it. Elite Killer says, boys. Let's get a hashtag boys in the chat if we can. This is a good comment. Just says, I hope it's not actually a good comment. I'll take that back. I thought they showed us multiplayer. Yeah, they spoke a little bit about multiplayer. I'm Zaid. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I was expecting to get a little bit more footage, but if you guys saw at the end of the map there that there was actually COD 4, like, old maps and then remade maps. So what do you guys think about them? I want to read out some comments, but you guys, COD 4 first campaign mission is the best. Yeah, that wasn't a bad campaign mission, to be fair. That was actually a pretty good campaign mission. Blaze Gaming says, I want to see gameplay. Dude, I want to see gameplay too, but I think it's too early for that in all honesty. The game doesn't come out till November. But which one of you guys are going to be getting the one with the Modern Warfare Remastered? If you are getting the Modern Warfare Remastered version, give the video a big fat thumbs up and let me know by doing that. Aiden says, yo, Star Wars coming to COD. No, dude, I don't think it's going to be on that sort of level. I don't think it's going to be that bad, if I'm honest with you. I'm not a fan of the Star Wars games. I am a massive COD fan, so I'm thinking that. But you guys seem to be concerned about the exosuit business going on. But guys, tons of information. What I'm going to do for you guys, I'm going to end the stream and I'm going to do a stream a little bit later on breaking down the trailer in big, massive detail. Like, literally, I'm going to take pictures from there. I'm going to upload it. If you haven't yet already, be sure to turn notifications on. There is an image on screen of how you can do that. You don't even have to leave this page. You can simply do it by pressing the settings button underneath the stream. You guys are tweeting me saying that you aren't seeing my videos, so be sure to do that so you never miss a video from me. And we will take that off of the screen right now. What is going on in the camera? You're just getting it just for COD 4. I think a lot of people are going to be doing that. But to be honest, man, it's going to be a great year for COD because we've got the rest of Black Ops 3. We've got all of the other Infinite Warfare announcements. We've got all the other COD 4 Remastered announcements. And then we'll have Black Ops 3 mod tools. So it's a good year for COD so far this year. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss a COD video from myself. Be sure to share this stream. Get it around there. Like, let's talk about this sort of stuff. I want to maybe get some of you guys into the video and actually talk about it with me. Look at the trailer, because like 3 minutes in, there is a booster suit. Yeah, they said that they're gonna, that they've taken from who was that? That was from Chris Knight. Chris Knight. They've said that what they're gonna be doing is they've looked at Black Ops 3 and they've sort of like worked on that mechanic to make it their own sort of style. But, you know, at the end of the day, I'm hoping that it's not going to be too much in multiplayer, but we're yet to see. But guys, thumbs up the stream if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. Turn notifications on. And I'll see you guys in another stream very